welcome to another episode, another kind of small little tutorial here. We're going to be at Emerald Lake. This is how to get the most out of Emerald Lake, how to get the most money, how to catch the most fish. And what we're going to be catching today are specifically the walleye. Now, the walleye here, they don't get super big. They get up to trophy size, which would be about 4 pounds. So they go anywhere from 1 to 4 pounds. So for a type of reel that you're going to want to be using, you're going to want to make sure you can at least catch a 3-pound fish, especially on your feeder rods. On your ultralight or feather light is what you're also going to be using, because you're going to want to have a narrow spoon. Now, I am using specifically a barbless narrow spoon, but you don't have to use barbless. Barbless just gets you a little bit more XP, in case you didn't know that, but it's also harder to keep a fish on. I'm using a 1/4 ounce barbless narrow spoon. Color, honestly, I don't think it matters in this game at all. You can use a barbless narrow spoon all day. So on my feeder rods, I'm going to be using a small minnows. Specifically, now, the rods I have are way overkill. You want to be able to at least just cast 150 feet or 160 feet. And that is a perfect distance to cast, so we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Now, before I go fishing, I will say Emerald Lake you'll unlock at level 8, so it really is good for beginners. Also, it costs $3,000 to go here, and I think it's $500 every extra day you want to go, but you will be earning over $3,000 per day as long as you have a big enough fish keeper, or whatever the heck you want to call it. You're going to want to make sure that you are at your peak times. If you don't know about peak times, that's basically these humps here. You want to be in those yellow zones. So anyways, now that we're in a private room, what you're going to be wanting to do is, let me pull out the map real quick to kind of show you where I'm casting. I'm going to be casting out here to this marker. Now this marker, it represents, I think, a trophy walleye I caught. It was 5 pounds. Pretty dang big fish, real hard to reel in, but I'm just going to be casting over here, and honestly, I like to cast a little bit left to this marker, but you want to make sure that you're casting in this deep area in the middle of the lake. Now, I'm going to go back to my poles here, set down my pole thing. Now, you don't have to have a dual rod stand, but I do because I am a high enough level to buy one, but you do not have to have one. And where I like to cast is kind of in here, kind of in line with this tall tree right here. And you want to cast just kind of right in there. Now, this is probably around 160 feet. Yeah, exactly what I was saying earlier. Now, you don't tend to get hung up here, so you don't really have to worry about that. Sometimes you will, though, so sometimes you do have to be careful if you're not really catching fish on one pole that's sitting there, probably hung up. Cast out our other one. Now, I'm using number 1/0 hooks. They seem to work perfect. Yes, they are barbless. You do not have to use barbless. And then I'm going to switch to my feather light. And basically, this is pretty much the whole setup. You want to cast out your barbless narrow spoon as far as you can, just in that general direction. Honestly, it can be anywhere to the right, all the way over to there, pretty much. Just this kind of whole open field right in front of you. I'm going to wait for that to kind of sit at the bottom, and then I'm going to just slowly reel it in. Straight and slow works great for walleye, but you can also twitch it if that's what you like to do. I'll kind of switch it up a bit. Sometimes I'll twitch, sometimes I'll just go straight and slow, and you'll really catch fish pretty quick here. Now, I'm kind of at the down end of my day, but I should still be catching some fish, hopefully quickly. Oh, and there you go. Right there, we are catching a fish. Now, I will say we are going specifically for the walleye, which use small minnows, and I think something else. But there are grass pickerel here, so sometimes you will have a little bit of depression and catch a grass pickerel. And that's sad, but they do pull, not at all, and you reel them in a heartbeat usually because they're often really small. But this seems to be a walleye right here. Caught with small minnows, 2.2 pounds, $191. Just there. Now, we didn't get very much XP, but that's because I'm using really overkill rods. You'll get XP depending on what kind of rod, reel, and line you're using, depending on how heavy it is compared to the fish. So for this, you'd want to be using some pretty light line. Probably, you're going to want to max out. You're going to want to be at least probably 4 pounds will be perfect for these kind of fish, and you should be getting the most XP. Throwing on some barbless hooks or barbless narrow spoon will get you extra XP as well. But as you can see, it's just that easy to catch some fish, and really you just want to be casting out there as often as you can. And look, we caught a fish right out here. Now, I'm not entirely sure what this is. It looks like it's a grass pickerel, and it is. Now, they oftentimes don't get you that much money. As you can see, 1.2 pounds, only about $100, but they are light fish. You do catch them. They do get you a pretty decent amount of money per their weight, as long as they're around a trophy. So that's pretty much it. As you can see, wow, got a mission accomplished thing for $5,000. So sometimes catching stuff like that does get you some money. Now, when I go to my fish keeper here, as you can see, it's mostly walleye. We have about 18 pounds in fish, and we're at $1,600. That's almost $100 per pound. You can see we caught another grass picker around in here. But that's pretty much it. I want to keep this video short, sweet, simple. This is just how to get the most money possible. And this is just what you want to do. I've caught 2 fish in the time being here, and I barely started fishing. So really, it is just that easy, that simple to catch fish really, really fast. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'll get to those as quickly as possible. And this is honestly mostly for lower levels, really. It's for kind of slightly lower level people. But I just thought I'd make this video in case, you really need to know. But this is how to catch the most fish and get the most money out of those fish at Emerald Lake. If you liked the video, please like it. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. If you didn't like it, dislike it, leave a hateful comment. Anything helps. As they say, some affection, better than no affection, honestly. So, I think I'm going to leave that video here. As you see, I've caught plenty of fish, and the day has just begun. So, really, go out there, catch some of these fish, and stay cool.